Hi, the TV must be overheard me, so no, because all they're talking about is wildfires, and there's a lot that's on the West Coast, so it's on TV now, and I'm just like, that is not what I wanted, but okay, TV, we can learn about fires, and apparently it's really really bad, but um so I was talking about unions, and like my thing is, I've had to like, I'm not much of a crier. I went to a lot of funerals when I was a kid. Like when I was younger, like I went to a lot of funerals when I was a kid. There was like, I was oops growing up. Some people covered up as I was a miracle child, but I always knew that I didn't belong. You know, and so my family is like way older than me. And so they died at like the appropriate ages, but the fact that I was so young, and so I went to quite a few funerals when I was younger, and so I kind of got over the fact of crying once I got into like middle school and stuff like that. And the only time I really cry is when I get like over stress, like when I'm like beyond stress and I just don't like when I decided to not have like a panic attack, so I just like start crying. It's just a way to like release my stress with my anxiety and stuff like that. In high school, I used to get a ton of panic attacks. And so, but with or without a union, working at a company, um, I think crying is okay. I feel like crying is appropriate. But the thing is, you still need to do your job. And that's my issue. Is like, if you want to come, like I was working someplace and they're like, what do you really do? I'm just like, when like training class, why don't you ask him, the trainer, on what I'm really gonna do? Like, why do we ask these silly questions? Like, at first, I thought he was making a joke. Like, I thought he was like, ho, 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 I'm so funny. But then he kept on, like, asking me that. And I'm like, what do you think I'm going to be doing? You know, at that point, like, at the end of it is. And so, like, when you are working, you have criteria that you need to do, but then there's other things in it that you have free time. You have time that you can sit around and just play on your phone or read a book or have a snack or do something or go and socialize. You can go and socialize, if you want. It's up to you, because there will be downtime. And that's was my issue. There's some people who sit and literally cry all the time. And I'm just like, if you're crying so much, are you sure this is the right job for you? There's plenty of other jobs out there that won't make you cry as much. I'm not suggesting to quit, but look around. Being at a company for a week, couple days is technically not that bad of a deal. But so like the length of employment should not de- should not impact somebody that much, as long as you're a good employee, that tries to do good. Like, North Dakota is a right to work state, even though the employer really still needs to give the individual a reason. It is a right to work state. But the thing is, people should not be so stressed on losing their job if they're trying to be a good employee and try to do a half decent job. Like, my thing is, I will try harder if I know I'm gonna get a promotion soon, if I know I'm gonna get a pay raise soon, if I know that my managers appreciate my work, I will try a little bit harder. But if I know my managers are not appreciating my work, I'm just gonna slack off more. That's just my personality. And so, being in a union or not being in a union, um, not liking your job, does not have anything to do with a union. So, remember that, people, when you go out job hunting, don't feel like you're a failure because you've been there for a couple days and you realize it's not a good fit for you.